Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're wondering why Juves as well as Rogue look a little bit upset after that win, was because they were promised they could go to a cat cafe if they won in under 22 minutes. They won in 22:02 because FBI stopped hitting the Nexus.
Thank you, Hingers, for repeating yourself. We just heard on the
Hingers
desk.
is saying that? Okay, I don't listen to him, so that's why I don't remember. But let's get to this next match. It's going to be Sin taking on TM in game number 2. And we saw that first match was completely one-sided in Sin's favor. Team didn't look like they have any avenues to try and attack the Sin roster. A couple of kills in the top lane, but that's about it.
Yeah, you just want, in my eyes, a more stable early game, specifically on the bot side of the map, as Sin are opting in for another Galio ban against Shock. So yeah, like a more stable early game, having like a foundation to build off to moving into the later stages of the game. It just seemed like very early into the first game, they were just too far behind, and then Sin just had advantages across the map. And
Yeah, I liked TM the most when we saw only on Lee Sin, and he ganked Sin's bottom lane, I want to say, for like first blood in their first matchup. You know, I think when you had that early pressure jungler, obviously Elise is another great pick.
yeah, Lee Sin is not good right now. I don't think anyone's
I was
playing
talking
Lee Sin.
about how he played, not what he played.
Yeah, picking up the Elise, doing the same sort of thing.
Yeah, or even, you know, picking the Gragas and, you know, flexing that 2 only rather than giving it to Praedyth.
And has the fall of TM been kind of the swing in the meta, so to speak? Because the first few weeks in the OPL, they looked okay. They looked like they were going to be at least a team fighting to get into playoffs. But the past few weeks, they haven't even been able to pick up games against the likes of Regicide, who were thought to be the weakest team of the OPL.
Yeah, it does sort of seem that, you know, as changes came through, that they struggled to adjust. And I think that, you know, every team has their moments and, you know, you can't always be the best at each patch. But it didn't really feel as though they have actually picked it back up. And I think that, you know, they're still lagging behind. And, you know, now it's compounding with the fact that, you know, they're a bit demoralized. They're struggling. So, yeah, it's kind of problem on problem here.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about problem on problem and patch changes. Like, this patch really does not suit the current lineup of TM. Only, as he said in the pre-game talk, was carry jungler, doesn't like the meta, doesn't like the tanks. And then the same goes for Praedyth in the top lane. He was best, in my eyes, when he was just constantly split pushing on the likes of Fiora, on the likes of Camille, and now he's being put on the tanks and they're not faring too well. And it feels like with the meta shifts and with the patch changes, TM have like kind of let go of their style. They've opted into like trying to play the meta, and I feel like sticking to the style that was working for them, despite it not being the best on this current patch, would mean there would be a more cohesive team, and I think they would get better results. But obviously, I don't know the ins and outs of the team. I'm on another professional team, so probably better off talking to the likes of Cyclone, their coach, standing behind them as they look to get into the game too.
I mean, Shock hasn't had a great season so far. A couple of good games, but that's about it. And Tegan, last split, when he was on X5, him and Crazy saw a lot of growth, but Low and Tegan have not had the same growth on TM this entire split. So it's been a very disappointing season so far for TM. Hopefully they'll be able to, you know, claw their way back. It doesn't look like their shot into playoffs is possible anymore, as yeah, we're all distracted right now because Hingers is taking a selfie of a koala and absolutely no idea why he's doing it right in front of us. So we're trying to do our job, Hingers. There's a job to do. Something you should learn. Cheers like for game number 2 here. Galio, Karma, and Elise banned out by Sin. We have Talia as well as Jace banned out by TM.
Yeah, the Elise, the last hope I had for only maybe they're just taken, you know, off the table.
Do take away the Kalista.
Banned out towards FBI.
That painfully strong top lane / jungle champion Maokai's open.
It leaves Wukong open as well.
Yeah, I reckon that's the first pick Wukong coming in. Doppler seems pretty happy with that selection right there.
One day someone's going to accidentally lock that.
Yeah.
It will be Maokai picked up for Sin.
Yeah.
Accidentally. Ooh, tell that to AV.
They picked it. Wait, I was under the impression he did accidentally lock it in.
Come on. You already completely roasted Juve's last game. But now,
that's a bit
come
of
on, Gish.
That's a bit of a camera.
I'm interested about the Diana hover. Is this just like another Wukong because Luch played it and then?
I don't think we're privy to that meme.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I'm not completely comprehending that one. We've only seen one Diana and it hasn't done very well, so.
You know, Gragas is picked up by TM here. It's normally Sin's first pick, but they opt for the Maokai pick first, which is very strong.
And Jish was talking about the potential Gragas flash into the jungle. Does have the early gank pressure with his flash body slam for the likes of Only, so potentially we will see that one. Probably going to be an 80 carry selection here coming out of the TM lineup, I think.
Yeah, Zyra Khan open, and they take Orianna.
Yeah. What is that? What is this head shuffle? This is Juve's now Rogue. That's 2 from 2. But Zaya Rakan, as you mentioned, is available now on blue side, which is very rare to actually see them both go through that stage. Normally on the red side, teams will take... Normally the Zaya, potentially taking the Rakan, but by itself, Rakan isn't very strong, whereas by itself, Zaya is quite strong. And they don't opt in for the duo here. They're hovering the Zilean.
Not going to happen. That's Shock's champion.
I do expect that we see the Rakan follow the Zaya.
Yeah, going into League of Origin, FBI wasn't a big Zaya player, but since coming into the OPL, he's picked it up quite a bit.
Going into League of Origin, FBI was reading the abilities of Zaya. Being like, what does she do? And then he was like, oh, this champion actually might be pretty good. I was like, you can't play it, can you? And he's like, no.
That was sad.
I was trying not to roast him that hard.
Well, I mean, I painted out the Wukong players, so I guess I'll give FBI a quick look in.
Meanwhile, Shock does the same thing back to Roma, hovers his champion of Zed, but picks up Shen. So both solo laners for TM locked in, and that's going to push Gragas into the jungle.
Yeah, they kill their flex. They show both their solo laners. So I'm not I guess I'm a little bit skeptical, and I'm kind of surprised because I feel like TM must have like an ace sitting somewhere in the bottom lane.
Yeah, potentially. I think they're going to look for the likes of the Tristana again. As Sinner pinching the support pool right now, they do have the Zaya Rakan, banning away the Braum as it's a good negate matchup into the Zaya. But picking the Shen there without having picked your bot lane, going to do fairly well into anything that Doppler picks on the top side of the map, but into a lane such as Zaya Rakan, which can get hyper-aggressive early, potentially looking for an all-in at level 6 when they have the quickness and whatever Zaya's ultimate ability is called, as they look for those all-in. Shen ulti being able to keep the bot lane of TM safe will be very valuable there.
Yep.
And potentially, as they do ban away the Morgana, which is something that's very new in this patch. We saw Marta play it in LCK, in a meta where you see GP10 Janna just running around and doing absolutely nothing in lane. You can get away with the likes of Morgana, who doesn't have too strong a bot lane. As they do hover the Kog'Maw. Choo-Choos will be screaming cheese in his grave.
I mean, Koglulu is a definite possibility here. We've seen that running around the LPL quite a bit. And that's with Kog'Maw picking up Cleanse or Barrier, Lulu going for the heal instead.
And the Morgana ban, honestly, very smart out of Sin, because if you look at TM's lineup right now, they have an Orianna shield, which is an actual shield, the Shen ulti, which is also an actual shield, and then you have the Morgana spell shield to negate any CC.
By the way, also an actual shield.
Well, it's not a...
It's called Black Shield,
It's half a shield. What? It shields you from, it doesn't shield you from AD damage, it shields you from magic damage and CC, but the combination of all those three abilities would have set Low up to basically do whatever he wants in team fights. Morgana is very good into the likes of Maokai, as they do... opt in for the Janna.
Not going for the Lulu lane. Interesting.
Honestly, not a big fan of this. I think Rakan, we've seen time and time again in the OPL, the Rakan will just focus the Janna on the engage, and if Janna gets picked off, Spawn is a big proponent of, and you are too, of talking about Janna getting multiple rotations of her shields off in fights, and if she can't do that, then she isn't very useful. And obviously, if you're taunted and knocked up by the Rakan, you can't even use your ulti, the Monsoon, to disengage. So
it's a bigger Protect the Kog'Maw team comp coming out from TM. Almost hiding that Kog'Maw pick for last year. So very curious to see how they're able to play this one out, because they're putting a lot of eggs in the low basket, and he hasn't been the best performing player for TM so far.
I feel like this is a very hard composition to play Protector anything against. They have a lot of CC and pile on damage. The engage is super easy from Sin.
Got a Syndra as well.
Just to dash in on Rakan and do whatever kickflips and stuff you do around their AD carry.
Kickflips.
I don't know what the champion does. I literally see champions like spinning around, being like, yep, catching all of. Actually, kind of like Pokemon. He's like collecting them all. But anyway, no, he rounds them up.
I hate that. I hate that.
This guy's a professional coach, ladies and gentlemen.
But a lot of people...
In my head, I know how it works. I'm like, right, he goes in and he goes this, gets their whole team.
Speaking of the Rakan engage, a lot of people say it is undodgeable. So, as you were saying, very... Because he can just engage from like, a screen away, right? So, like... It's undodgeable. If he wants to get on you and he has flash, he will get on you. So, I protect anything and protect the Kog'Maw comp into that. Followed up with all that CC.
If you dodge the first one, good luck getting out of like Syndra, Maokai, Jarvan.
It's going to be very difficult, but let's see if
fun.
Let's see if TM can pull it off, because Kog'Maw has been rising in popularity, especially in the LPL. Even doing Rift Rivals, they picked it up against teams from the LCK to great success. So curious to see how much practice they've had on it. And they do have the Cleanse Kog'Maw with the heal Janna. But for now, let's check in with Bensel, the coach for Sin.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Bentel. Congratulations on that win in Game 1. I want to ask about going up against this Kog'Maw comp. Is it something you guys have practiced a lot against or had to face with varying degrees of success?
Yeah, I think coming into the tank meta, a lot of teams want to practice this Kog'Maw comp, and we've had a lot of practice against it, understandably. I think you just want to pick as much engage as possible.
Which you've got, so
yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah, exactly. We just took, and like Syndra's really good against it as well,
Yeah.
Especially if not against Braum, so I think we have too much to deal with it. They shouldn't be able to win with it.
So you're feeling pretty confident with this comp going into the game?
Yeah, I mean, Kog'Maw games, they can go badly. One botched play against the Kog'Maw and games can get out of hand, so, they do have a chance to win the game, but, you feel like with the way the comps match up, we have all the tools we need.
All right. Well, thank you for speaking to us, and best of luck in the game.
Thanks.
Yep, so Benzel agreeing with you guys. They've got all the tools they need to deal with the Kog'Maw. Base skin, Janna and Kog'Maw. Are you a big fan of this, Ejin?
Nah, base skin's a rookie choice. As he does get knocked up, just a
Base.
chunk.
Oh,
But
that feels like Tegan is taking gold per 10. If that's how
No.
much damage you're going to do to him.
he's actually too tanky. He's got health yellows. He's got GP10 Quints, but he's got health yellows. He's already popping a pot. He's only got 530 health. I think you would have somewhere around the mark of 400 and something. Unless he didn't take the mastery in the utility tree, Veteran Scars. There's potential. I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty confident, 90% confident he will have health yellows or a mixture.
Yeah, but that was a chunk of damage. And you want to say something, you just
Yeah. Well, I was going to
cut you off with the skins, but you're going to make an actual
We know Bryce
point.
can't do maths. Why are we judging him? He knows how much health the champion has.
Goodness sake.
Bring Jake back.
Yeah, get rid of you because Jake can do maths.
My goodness. But to kick this game off, Low and Tegan already taking quite a bit of harass in the bottom lane. They do heal up not quite nicely. But this is something that Jake likes to talk about, and he has only seen one game of it so far. He's got Cleanse as well as Heal picked up in this bottom lane. Tegan getting the Heal, Low going for the Cleanse. We see this a lot in the LPL, where they opt for either the Barrier or the Cleanse or Kog'Maw.
You see a lot of the barrier in the LPL. The Cleanse, obviously, there's a lot of CC that we were talking about on the Sins lineup.
Yep.
So they got the CC from Syndra, the stun, and the Maokai W are dodgeable there, but I think cleansing a Rakani Gauge is actually very difficult once he's level 6 because you can cleanse the taunt, but then the knockup follows immediately. So we'll be relying on Tegan to stop that one from happening altogether, and then the cleanse to keep the Maokai and the Syndra away from him. But I do, in Bentel's interview, I agree with all his sentiments. He was saying that against comps like Protect the Kog'Maw, Protect the Kassadin, sorry, not Protect the Kassadin, but Kassadin comps, there's one botch play. If you do fall behind, there's potential for a big gold spike to go into that hyper carry, and then with all the protection behind him, can just steamroll a game. But he did say that he gives them a chance. He gives them a tiny chance to win this game, but he's very confident in his boys to be able to pull this one out.
Only spots Juves in his jungle, gives him a missing ping and dances in front of him. This bottom lane is doing very well for FBI at the moment. 24 CS to 10. Incredibly strong.
There is a big wave under the turret, so they will catch a little bit, but they are definitely behind. The Cleanse Heal does virtually nothing in the strict 2v2. You're down a combat summoner, so you should lose all the 2v2 trades. You're just banking on the ability to keep Janna, for Janna to keep you healthy enough to survive through the lane phase to scale up. But
It's almost a big throwback to Season 2, Season 1-ish, where supports used to pick up that heal.
Season 1 was
Long time ago.
Clairvoyance.
Oh yeah, Clairvoyance.
Walking out of the base
Ooh.
and you hit him with a Clairvoyance to see what items they've bought.
No, the best clairvoyant strategy is where you like sit in the brush
Oh,
and
yeah,
stack
yeah,
your
yeah,
own
yeah.
brush.
So that people think that
They're like,
you
oh
don't
yeah,
know.
no, they're not in there.
That was
was-
it Season 1 Worlds where that was used as a cheat?
I think, yeah, I want to say Special did it.
I'm going to claim that that was the first League of Legends 600 IQ play ever.
You've got to fight Juves for that statement.
I think he'd agree with me.
I think Juice played League of Legends at that point.
Meanwhile,
Oh.
Lode's going to get knocked up in the top. That's First Blood. Instantly picked up by FBI.
Cleanse is late. They burn the heal, but the Ignite is already on, so didn't manage to sidestep the knock up there. Just greedy pathing, honestly, from low to sit against the wall like that. It gives Rakan such an easy engage option there. Didn't flush away from it, so just pulled the trigger on his summoners too late there and dies for it. And falling behind in a matchup like this, where he's already blown his cleanse, is only going to get worse.
So we just got news that Tegan is running 5.3 gold per 10. I'm not sure. I don't know the math behind that. Maybe you can help us. I was
5.3.
going to ask
You
you.
get
I'm not going to ask you
You get
anymore.
3 GP10 from Quince.
So he is running yellows as well, it seems. Kratos actually going to get ganked. Sorry, no. Dokla is going to get ganked top side of the map. He's trying to do the do-si-do, but only will be able to get the body bop as well as a slowdown from his Q, and that should be a dead jump. It does have flash, so it could probably escape this.
They can follow.
Let's see if they do. It's going to be a long chase here. Tiger Draggy's out. Tegan's also running 1% crit on Janna.
I
Please,
hate
Lord.
that.
You're not going to auto-attack anyone in this matchup. You're going to sit behind the Cogmore and fling shields at him as he attempts to farm under his turret. But he is too tanky to have full GP10. I'm adamant that he's running help somewhere. He's either running it in Masteries, in which case he hasn't gone for Runic Blessing and doesn't have the shield mastery, or he's
Yoshi. Tiny chance you just can't do maths.
potentially. Another thing to note is that he is opting, as we already said, he's picked up the 2 Fairy Charms. So we've seen a lot of people, specifically in solo queue. Marta did it when they played this in the LCK, where they just pick up straight Ardent Sensor and no Sidestone. So you just literally rush the Ardent Sensor to keep your AD carry alive, buff the shields, give them more damage and lifesteal.
Buffs
No
your heal as
Sidestone.
well.
Yeah, so potentially very greedy play out of him there, as Lowe's also opted for the Cull.
So they're just trying to stay alive, and it's very similar to what happened with Regicide when they picked up this comp, which is they're being bullied incredibly hard early.
Yeah. And for the likes of TM, I think in this comp there, the start is fairly disappointing. Because their bot side is already behind it, they kind of drafted themselves to have a bot lane that will be weaker, right? They knew this was happening, they picked a scaling lane, but because that gank didn't work on the top side of the map, only pathing down here is getting absolutely nothing done. Juves was able to find him in the jungle, so the solo lanes from Sin aren't scared of him at all and are just free to play their 1v1 matchups, as Praetus is getting pushed out of the lane on the top side of the map.
Yeah, Dockla's about to proxy his wave. So he's definitely not scared of, only at the moment.
He has no TP on the Shen either, because both top laners have TP back to lane, so...
Actually probably suits TM though, Shen has the ultimate, he can get to the fight if he has to.
But what fight? They have nothing to engage a fight with on the boss side of the map. I guess only if he gets behind them, can flash, hit him with the Flanner, the Flash Janna, Flash Janna Q. That's a bad engage tool.
That sounds offensive, the Flanner.
The Flanner? It sounds Australian as well.
What? Flanner is the thing you wear. Flanner is when you flash engage on Janna. It's like flannelette.
I'm so confused.
That's right, we're more Australian. We can teach you Australian.
That's actually very true. Meanwhile, TM is only trying to do some kind of jungling, take the red buff away from Juves. He hasn't had much early game impact so far.
But it's not like he's on a clock this game, like he was last time on the Kayn. We were saying he didn't get enough done early to warrant the pick, but he is on a tank versus tank matchup and will scale well throughout the game.
Ooh, he's trying to get behind the bottom lane here. Let's see if he goes for a gank.
I do see him.
No, spotted out.
They see him, and the bot lane of TM was just too far away. They have no engage tools, so if only walked in, he would just get 2v1, whilst the bot lane from TM would try and catch up to the fight. He would have just got a large chunk, potentially would have had to flash away. So, also level 6 was on Xayah, so if she ultied the body slam, he would have been immediately rooted and then punished.
It's top side of the map. Praetor doing incredibly well into Dokla. Shen has a good matchup here. But he is down 10 CS against the Jarvan.
And I think the big thing I want to note, if we could take a look at the bot lane turret, just see how low that actually is. Sitting at 50% is decent, I think, for the situation that TM are looking for right now. But as you see, Juves on the bot side of the map, the bot lane is level 6. They're going to make a play for this turret. It's already half HP.
And, only pathing away from it too now, so definitely a precarious position. Juves.
They did lock down Ryoma though. He does have Flash and Ghost, flashes away from the body slam, throws his ultimate at only Shock, looking for this kill. Ultimate gets dodged, even a Shen ultimate coming through. That's going to be completely channeled. They use everything possible to get a kill on their mid laner.
Really wanted the assist, I guess. Only explanation for that one. Probably wasn't necessary. We do see Juves clearing out, I think, maybe the pink in the side brush. Otherwise, just walking down now to punish the bottom lane of TM. This probably should be the first turret going over.
That turret is incredibly low. Juves throws
Shield
out the
is
ultimate
down.
before he gets to division. They lock down low. Ultimate comes out from Tiga, keeping him alive a bit longer. But is it enough? So far it is, but he will fall. And now Tiga is the one that is in trouble. Juves takes out the turret, gets a kill for himself. A Kathia surprise is not enough, and that'll be another turret falling.
And the silver lining on that play from Ryoma, where he greedily contests the rates, is that they see only on the top side of the map. And Juves, as a response, just walks into the bot side. The shield was down from Janna at the time of the dive, so Rakan really easy engage onto Kog'Maw. They pick up the already low turret, and be interesting to see where Sin sends their bottom lane from this. It's looking like they're walking out top side of the map, so opting to flip the map, potentially favoring a top turret or a Rift Herald over the Infernal Drake, which is an interesting decision, I think, against a comp that has potential for late game, like TM's here. Giving them an Infernal Drake is a bit dicey.
Yeah, you know, and Infernal's actually pretty good on them as well. Obviously, the mid laner and the Eddie carry. I can't think of that. Oh, yeah, Syndra and Xayah. I was just looking at that champion like, what is that champion called? Yeah.
Infernal Drake is pretty good with Syndra's outplay button. When you hit the R and you just do 8% extra damage, you're like, oh yeah, that's cool. Nice.
Dracula as well can make use of his double offensive items, but not as effectively. FBI, well, he is so far ahead. Essence Reaver already complete. 5,200 gold to the 3,300 for the low. And he's going to go for top lane outer as well. This will be a 2-for-1 turret trade if TM can get any damage in the bot lane outer.
But the problem for TM is because of T-Gun's build, and he's opting straight for the Ardent Center. He's got an Amp Tome and the Forbidden Idol. Oh, they do actually TP for it. He doesn't have a Sidestone to get top, bot side jungle control, so 2v1, I don't think they actually would have got this turret, because they wouldn't have had the vision without only walking in very deep in there, as they're just taking that top inner.
Yeah, very aggressive from Sin. They're looking to try and take top lane inner, and they should be able to get this one. Both Xayah and Rakan get a massive attack speed boost to work on these turrets. Only is down in the bottom lane. And Dokla is trying to defend against everyone from TM, but they're going to lose a 2-for-1 turret trade here. That makes it 3-for-1 total in turrets picked up.
Yeah, and it isn't even a question of Rift Herald and Infernal Dragon at this point. It's a question of how many turrets is Sin going to take. FBI looking to push that final wave into the turret just before he backs off here. And, you know, Sin are now looking at the Rift Herald, I think.
Yeah, no, TM were afraid of them pushing the inhib there, because they all recalled from the bot side of the map. They could have potentially just picked up an Infernal Drake. I realized that Sin weren't going to actually try and push an inhib. Potentially pick that one up, but they don't. They reset side of the map. T-Gun walks with low to top side of the map, and now that they're off the inhib turret, he's just walking towards the mid lane. They're looking for something, but Rome are respecting weak side of the map and floating to his teammates on the top side.
Let's see if TM do go for this Infernal Dragon. What has been placed down? So that will be spotted out by Sin. Rift Herald is going to fall. T-Gun will spot that out now. That's picked up nice and easy. Tornado. Steal that.
Unlucky.
Yeah, unlucky.
Gets it.
Real close, but just slightly unlucky on that one.
So yeah, and FBI took that.
Yeah, so you guys put it on Zaijin. You pick up the Rift Heralds. FBI's picking this one up.
Obviously, junglers are just unreliable with the Rift Herald buff.
Could it be Formies and Power Recall?
Potentially.
Trying to punish mid, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to dive mid, then Juice is going to be there flanking with his ultimate. But it could have just been whichever one of their trinkets was up and down. So Xayah potentially didn't have it. Wanted the extra 4 seconds on his recall to get to mid lane earlier, but he does seem a bit weird putting it onto an AD carry, because they do have to answer side lanes. And
he just runs straight down middle and drops Rift Herald. So they're looking for chip damage to this turret.
They're not going to get this.
They're not going for a push to win.
Is he the fastest member on their team, maybe? Just was literally racing.
Potentially, he has boots too. But Malphite has it as well, and he's melee.
Yeah, and Rakan has so that was definitely wrong.
That was a poor choice, I think, out of Sin. Just dropping it immediately. They do get a big chunk, but if they played that slowly, they are winning the game. They can win the side lane split push here. Roma push out this big wave. Doppler to push out the bot side of the wave and then rotate towards the mid lane and then drop the Rift Herald. Potentially immediately get the first turret. Potentially get the second one, but...
I mean, maybe trying to enforce an unforced error from TM, but yeah, curious play from Sin. They don't lose anything from it, but they don't get the maximum value out of it.
They lost the opportunity.
Low risk, low reward.
And T-Gun does actually finish his Ardent Sensor. That's a weird build to just see in a competitive game of League of Legends. But
Ardent Sensor and a bit of cheese.
Bit of cheese?
Yeah.
I reckon the Nomad's Medallion does look like a bit of cheese.
It looks like cheese.
Out of all the items, so... They do finally pick this up as...
No, doesn't go for the 600 IQ outplay of pressing R.
Nose Shock has the barrier. Wouldn't actually kill him there, so... Holds his ultimate here, but Sin are just looking like they're pressuring the boss out of the map here. Tommy Ryoma split pushing by himself in the top lane. Doesn't see Gragas.
He's going to get ganked here by only. Ryoma does get the stun. There goes the outplay, but so many shields on Shock. Brings him back with the ultimate, and it will be only that gets the kill.
Yeah, and he does use all of his real shields to stay alive from Ryoma, including his friend's shield from Praedyth. But Sin have the answers in the other two waves, and they can shove down mid and shove down bottom lane. So even with the kill, TM's still not getting much out of it.
Yeah, but at this stage, they're not looking to get anything out of it. They're just looking to stall as much as possible. They're definitely behind in this matchup. They need to scale up. Kogbor needs to be hitting. He's not even at his first item yet. He does only have 7 stacks left on the Cull, so potentially his next recall will pick up the Bork, go into something like the Runans or the Guinsus after that. I think he needs to be getting to at least 2 items before TM are going to be looking to win any fights whatsoever. So
And that Kog'Maw is so far behind.
Yeah.
Or low.
Sin have done a really good job of keeping him down. TM have one win condition with this comp, and as Bentel said in his interview, Sin identified that very well and have played to punish that throughout the entire game.
Sad thing is, Low doesn't have the least gold on his team. Both top lane and jungle are starving. 4.8k and 4.6. But FBI is snowballed ahead. 7,800 gold in his favor.
And it's just going to be really rough to hold the inner turrets here for TM. Sin have such easy engage buttons we talked about with the Flash Rakan ulti. Their dive is just so good. If they have Maokai on the side throwing his ultimate as Rakan goes in, there's just no way to dodge that many forms of CC. And with a team comp that is as accelerated as this one, it's going to be very difficult to stay alive. So probably going to look to tentatively contest their inner turrets, but going to fall eventually anyway.
You can also see how the gold percent is helping Tegan out. They're 3 turrets behind, and 3 assists have gone over towards Rogue, but they're dead even in gold. It's definitely helping him. But hasn't costed him too much in lane. You'd have to say he's only died once.
Yeah, I feel like in this matchup, it doesn't actually affect how you play the 2v2. Janna's not going to be looking to contest the bush from the likes of Rakan in this Rakan Xayah lane anyway, so it's not like he needs the combat stats to fight in lane, because that's not what he's opting in for. So individually, it is a good choice, and it doesn't actually cost him anything. So keeping him in the game here, definitely. It's the only reason he's finished his item sensor already.
He's 100% opting into these fights, Ejim. He's got 1% crit. He's ready.
Yeah, that seems like a counterintuitive selection with your GP10. I don't want to fight you lane. Having a little bit of crit chance. You know?
I played a League of Legends game where Soraka crit me twice at level 1 before minions spawned. I was not happy.
Level 2?
I died at level 1. Juves, however, getting
died.
caught out, forced to flash away from only. Good stun from Ryoma to keep them back.
And low bases picks up his Bork and actually does a lot of damage to Juves there. Was just completely shredding him with the Janna shield there.
Yeah,
Had
not
to
a
flash.
moment too late, really. You know, they're having the top lane pushed in. They have to catch that. Losing all of their inners just about. This Dragon's coming up in 1 minute's time, and I guess if Low can't step up to the plate now, it's going to be very, very hard for them to mount any sort of comeback.
And is that what they have to really wait for here? Just wait for Low to come online, stall out the game? Because they have 4,000 gold behind. It's a big lead for Sin.
Yeah, you can't draft a composition around the Kog'Maw and then not play for it. So I think we see a bit of trading back and forth here that Praetus is getting the upper hand of, but FBI is caught out top potentially.
He's going to wrap around. He does have ultimate as well as flash heal. Let's see what he does. Locks down only, and here comes Kog'Maw. Throws out the ultimate early. Body pop instantly comes out by Rogue here. Save today. Ultimate comes out from Shen, bringing him to the top side of the map. He can't get a taunt going. Teleport will get cancelled by Dokla.
And only plays that as best as he could. He held onto the body slam knowing that FBI was going to blow it on the ulti so he doesn't get CC'd, but he goes in afterwards. The Shen ulti comes in, but they just can't pick up the kill there. Rogue saves FBI there, runs in with the taunt, with the knock-up, and then gets them out to safety. So big cooldown blown for TM. Having that Shen ulti as a safety net, as they're trying to contest their jungle and trying to hold their turrets is vitally important. The Baron is spawning in 1 minute, and it won't be up for that. So if Sin look to make a play immediately on the Baron spawn, then potentially TM won't have the tools to deal with it.
Yeah, TM really don't have the tools to deal with it, even with the Shen ultimate at this point, I'd say. Interesting to see that I think Predator's actually winning the 1v1 maybe pre-Jarvan base. I'm not exactly sure, but it looks like it was not going that poorly for him.
Shen does well into Jarvan already, but Black Cleaver might change things.
Yeah. Does have the Bramble, and Jarvan doesn't have too much sustain, so...
TM have done a good job of stopping them. It's still 4,500 gold behind, but it's not getting completely out of control.
Yeah. Breaking the base is the hard point for Sin, and that's where Baron comes into it, right? Like, diving an inner turret, when you have complete control of both of the enemy team's jungle is really easy with the likes of the Maokai and the Rakan. Maokai flank, ulti, Rakan engage, you dive the turret, they blow summoners to get away, and you pick up the turret and reset. And rinse, repeat. But diving an inhibitor is definitely a different story. It's much more compact and harder to pull that one off, so probably going to look for the Baron players. Ram is just whacking a turret on Syndra.
Yeah, get a Lich Bane.
Split push Syndra is not a strategy I've seen be too effective, but
Tell that to Sin.
he's doing a lot of damage there. They are diving mid.
Yeah, they're trying to collapse onto only. He's a very tanky Gragas. Shockwave only brings Juice back. Rogue, though, knocked further into turret range. Almost dies for that. Yeah, split push Syndra is just taking a top lane inhibitor turret while the rest of Sin are moving towards mid lane in.
And the mid lane engage was just a bit of a divergence for
Tegan.
Amateur. Ooh,
Tegan, what are you doing? Don't step up to that. Lowe's trying to pick up a kill.
Nice.
Wolf flash forward, gets one.
big.
Good trade.
Actually a good trade. T-Gun does not blow the heal. Not used to having that summoner there. Potentially could have stayed alive, but nice trade kill from Low to pick up the shutdown gold. I say shutdown gold. Rome is sitting on 1 and 3, so it wasn't a shutdown at all. But picks up a little bit of gold for himself.
Tornon's FBI here. He's going to lock down the Praetor, but returns the favor, gets a kill. Only almost going to engage on by Rogue. Thunderlords from the sky, and TikTok Shock gets one.
And this is sloppy play from Sin, and this is what Benson was talking about when he said the one moment where like you misplay and then Cog picks up a bunch of gold, potentially flips the game on its head. If they can't cleanly take this Baron and then look to break the base, and look to actually start getting inhibs and closing this game out, they will be in for a bit of trouble. Low will have a fair amount of gold to base with, looking towards his second item. And as their comp suggests, they have the Ori shield, the Janna shield, all this disengage to keep him alive. If TM can actually get to that point, they are in good stead in this game.
Yeah, I kind of want to see how they do navigate towards that, because they've just been given the opportunity to get some relatively safe vision control around Baron. They get the ward in mid, they get a few control wards down around too. So it should be a little bit harder now for Sin as well to clear that out.
See ya.
So they cheat and they engage by the TP mid.
Flush away. There's the teleport mid.
Oh.
Dokka's going to be able to lock down Tegan if he wants. Does so. Big Shen shield comes out. Keeps him alive. The shield will keep him up as well. FBI throws out the feathers to pick up that kill. Big ultimate for early. Big tour for Praetor. And TM are trying their hardest. Shot down comes out from the Shen. They will lose their support, but they get 2 kills back in their favor.
And that is absolutely huge for TM. They were engaging onto the Janna, burnt the flash, and then they Jarvan ulti onto the Janna, and the Kog'Maw is just free hitting the entire fight. And that is the moment we were looking for. That is the big gold swing for the Kog'Maw to be picking up these items.
Yeah, TM are not ready to go home. We see the replay coming in. They engage onto T-Gun. Have to blow probably a little too much to get him. And just the 4-man ultimate there is massive. Juve's ultimate comes in late too. There's too little too late at that point, Juves. You've already lost the team fight.
Yeah, huge Ori ultimate from Shock into the flash taunt from Praetor. Great synergy out of those two there as Low hasn't even reset yet. As we saw that replay, just shoved it down mid, picked himself up another bunch of CS and farm, and
show me the money.
He's gonna recall 2.6k.
Woohoo! But he's still 3,000.
He's still 3k behind.
Whoa.
But he is a Kog'Maw. He is a Kog'Maw, so I do think gold in his pocket is more valuable than in the pocket of Xayah.
It's a different currency.
Yeah.
It's worth more.
It's worth. It's like the US dollar versus our dollar.
Absolutely.
Kog'Maw comes from NA.
Yeah.
Cogrency.
FBI is using the dollar he does.
Nah, I'm not making cogrency a thing.
Cogrency? Is that like
cogrency?
Is it like the next new Bitcoin?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, we should invest.
Start mining.
Somebody save me from Drag Spawn.
As also the big thing for TM when they win a fight like that is the ability to reset the map. As you see, they are looking for an engage on the mid lane here, but don't pull the trigger. Oh, they do pull the trigger on Juves.
Strange, but they get good damage on him. Low. Auto attacking FBI. Only knocking him back there. And during that last fight, I thought it was only that made that big combo with the knockback. It was actually TikTok Shock, as you guys saw, getting the big initiation. But if only connected after that, whew, that would have been a wipe.
And yeah, they do get to reset the map, as I was saying, and potentially get some vision control down. But Sin are playing around the Baron. As that flopped engage in the mid lane happened, Roma pushed in the top side, so
Praetor does not have Staying United, but does have teleport. Control ward's placed over, and there's a teleport coming in for the Shen. Juve's at half health.
Smart disengage.
So there's a Knight's Vow on Low as well. He's got all the tools to try and keep him alive, but they engage onto only. Shield comes out. He's trying to save alive as much as possible. It gets locked down first.
Oh,
He's going to get taken out here. They can't protect the Kog'Maw well enough. Tegan is going to die as well. No flash for this Janna. Or does he?
walks away, but
too fast. Too
only
quick.
just had no business being there. They burnt the Shen TP into the pit, and Sin smartly disengaged. They were kind of hoping that Praetor cancel that TP, but smartly he doesn't. He goes through with it, taunts over the wall.
Primus killed Tegan somewhere across the map.
Yeah, I mean, that's not very hard to do at this stage. The Syndra's sitting on a lot of damage, and T-Gun doesn't have a lot of health, but yeah, as I was saying, only just had no business being there. They'd already disengaged the Baron. It had started resetting. A Shock's going to look to steal it with his ulti.
See if he can. TikTok Shock.
They have no vision of him.
Oh, it's a game of chicken right now. Juice. Oh! Oh! TikTok Shock! He does it for Brad! Gets the Baron buff!
He is single-handedly going to bring this team back to the 1-1 score, and if it's the last thing he does. First the 4-man ultimate. Next he takes the Baron. What can't this guy do?
Juves is not looking happy about that one, and this lets them stall the game. TM, the flashes have come up on the Kog'Maw very soon. He burned the cleanse in the last fight, but they will be able to stall with this Baron for at least another couple of minutes.
Now that was a 600 IQ play. Uses the Shockwave, plays a game of chicken, and then pops the dissonance to pick it up. My God, Shock's having a great game.
Yeah, they just didn't have any wards over the wall, so they... Normally in that situation, when you're playing that game of chicken with someone that isn't a jungler, you send one of your members like the Jarvan over the wall, like the Maokai even, or the Syndra to just walk at the wall to contest him, to try and bait him away out of range to be able to steal it and then burst it in that time. But they didn't have vision, they couldn't do that, and they lose the Baron for it.
And that's 2 Infernals.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe RNG a little bit in their favor at the moment.
Next one to spawn's an Infernal as well. Oof.
Yikes. If they get 3, this Kog'Maw is actually coming online. Once he gets into his 3rd item, I think that, like, TM's comp is absolutely
Tegan's
online.
comp.
And they have everything that they need to be able to deal with this.
Oh, they're trying their hardest here. Only 4,000 gold behind, and it's 26 minutes in. It's starting to become irrelevant.
Yeah, much less relevant now. You know, they're all hitting, looking towards the 3rd item at this point across most of their members. And this is sort of the point when they do actually start to get outscaled. So Kog'Maw should be pulling ahead of Desire. And you'd say that, you know, probably at 3 items, maybe Orianna has a bit more teamfight presence than the Syndra too.
You have to remember, Knight's Vow picked up with Redemption, Ardent Sensor for Tegan, and Locket is coming soon for the Gragas.
I'm surprised he actually opted in for the Redemption and not for something like the Crucible. They do have the Cleanse on low, so potentially didn't want it because of that reason, but there's just so many forms of CC on the lineup of Sin, so I reckon you get pretty good value out of a Crucible and a Cleanse.
It's a heal as well.
To
No,
sort
not
of
anymore.
Oh, Only's going to get locked down here. And you wanted to say something?
Well, it was just more like the interchange. So like, I'll cleanse this fight, I'll cleanse this fight, you Crucible next fight, I'll buy QSS for the 3rd fight.
I didn't know Mikhail's didn't heal anymore.
I think if you get a 6...
Oh,
engage.
big engage from Rogue. But look at all the shields thrown towards Shock. Doesn't matter. He still dies before he can even get a Shockwave off. Tegan's forced to flash, but Low is spraying and paying. Trying to get 1 kill here, but FBI is able to flash out of that.
And
They take down Orianna.
They get onto the Orianna, but she's not the crux of the comp. The Orianna is just there to facilitate the Kog'Maw. They didn't get the engage onto Janna as well, so he got another round of shields off in the back end of that fight, and Kog'Maw lives to do so much damage.
Look at bottom lane. That's pushing in for TM as well.
And that whole time, Sin had committed 5 members to the top lane and Praetor was just shoving in, so
Oh, it was so close for Shock as well. He almost got his Shockwave off before dying.
his Shockwave. Nice.
See the start of the hula hoop sort of spinning around and then just fizzle out as he dies.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
When the hula hoop doesn't actually do anything, when it's like a microsecond away from actually
Unless
doing
you're on
damage.
the other team, then
Yeah.
you breathe the biggest sigh of relief because you're like, oh, okay, I'm alive.
It's
still.
there's one other thing in League of Legends like that. It's when you're a support, you're tanking the turret that your AD carry's hitting, and you're on 1 HP, and the turret auto is traveling, and the turret dies.
Then you flash.
No, because I don't have flash, because I'm going to die anyway. But then I get saved because the turret dies, and it doesn't do any damage.
Oof.
But great hold from TM as we look back to this game.
And the gold lead shrinks even more, now down to 3,000, and it's becoming less and less relevant.
Interestingly, though, they still don't have complete control of their topside jungle. There's a few cheeky wards in there that Tegan hasn't swept out.
Would you say that with this double Infernal, that TM are dead even with Sin now?
Mat's boy, let's go. What's Infernal worth?
Yeah, this is... I don't have a number. I refuse.
19
I
worth?
don't think so. I don't think an Infernal... I don't think 2 Infernals makes up for Cog's like a 3rd item. I feel like once he hits that 3 spike, it's probably going to be... Oh, actually, what does Guinsoo's build out of?
Rage. Sorry, recurve bow.
So is it recurve bow?
As well as pickaxe and a blasting one.
It will be the recurve bow into the Guinsoo's there. So once he gets that, I think the double Infernals doesn't put him on equal stead yet, but once he gets it, it puts him over the line.
He's a Stormator Surge Cog.
Yeah.
Hello?
That's normal.
I didn't know that. Goodness.
Makes
I mean-
you run real fast.
Yeah, it helps you reposition, but it also, you don't actually need any extra damage on Kog'Maw. Once you get to the point, ooh,
Engage from Juice, throws out the ultimate.
Sort
Will
of
be
just
tanked
a
up by Only, and they lose the first turret.
that's interesting.
Low's charging forward. He wants some damage.
He has all these summoners, and he has a Janna shield, so he's feeling pretty good about that one with the Syndra stun down, but... Yeah, you don't need any extra damage on Kog'Maw, because once you get to the point of the game where you're absolutely chilling, once you've got your 3 items and you're looking to team fight, Fervor isn't going to help you that much. You're already packing a huge punch, so the ability to stay alive longer will be more valuable.
Now, Sin looking to try and contest top side of the map. Inhibitor is open here after Ryuma's split push attempts. Last time they tried this, they were able to kill Shock, but Low almost swept a team fight 4 on 5.
Ooh. They
They're
don't
gonna
have the
engage.
Oriole.
They go for Juice, good damage.
I don't have the Maokai ult is what I meant to say. So, you know, quite dangerous, I'd say, to be this close to the TM base.
Yeah, every single summoner bar T-Gun's flash is actually available for their lineup, so going to be very hard to get an engage off without that ulti into a favorable fight, as the entire time Low was just looking at that bot wave die to the turret and really wanted Sin to back away so he could pick it up.
I want my monies.
Does get it.
Infernal Dragon is coming up in a minute. Baron buff about 10 seconds behind it.
Interesting decision TM have to make there. Do they want to contest that Infernal Drake and concede the Baron control? Or do they just concede it, know that they have 2 to the Sin's 1 if they do pick it up, and then go to look to burst a Baron, maybe look to get that control, and then maybe force a fight in a choke, which would be really good for them. If they got an Orianna ulti into the Kog'Maw, hitting 3 members at a time, that is their absolutely optimal fight. So if Sin have to face check into no vision, I feel like TM are definitely favored in terms of a team fight.
So another item pickup for the Janna. Miguel's Crucible is now online.
Sitting on boots of speed.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need boots. You're already
fast.
You're already quick. He's got 5 points in his W, so his move speed's
455 movement speed on Tegan.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's 375 for only, just to add comparison.
It's got to be up there with Rogue. Rogue would have an edge because he has Mobius.
Ooh,
but-
Sin rushed the Infernal Drake, so they will pick this up for themselves.
And botched recall timings, I think, for the TM lineup. Kog'Maw wanted to base to get his Gwinsus, but they don't have that control around the Baron, and they conceded the Infernal Drake. So I guess they value getting that item over the setup on the map, as Sin are face checking into this vision right now, but
Yeah, they kind of don't. I mean, obviously, triple Infernal is better than double. Can we see the fight?
He's
No
sneaking
stun
in.
Syndra.
Ultimate's going to come out from Shen. He's still looking for a body slam. Comes in. FBI pops his own ultimate.
Kill
He's going to
Maokai.
get knocked into a wall, and only is Low. Maokai now trying to get into the fight. Low is going to spray big initiation from Rogue. FBI is going to take down the front line. Shock almost falls. Redemption comes in to keep the team alive. Shock flashed out of it. Double kill for FBI. Low can't deal enough damage. That's going to be a big triple kill for the AD carry of Sin.
Yeah, I know, and it wasn't enough from Shock. We've said he got the first Shockwave, he got the Baron, but he couldn't pull it out the third time. You know, this was the time when, you know, TM maybe could have won the fight. Kog'Maw was big, but it just wasn't enough. FBI ran a circle around them. So did Rogue, actually, considering he's champion. But no, yeah, a clinical performance from FBI in that team fight. And then they take the Baron as a prize.
and they burn the Shen ulti onto only very early in that fight, and they don't even get the engage onto FBI that they were looking for. They didn't get the pick onto the Maokai initially. Shen comes down into a root from the Xayah as she's untargetable. A nice engage out of Rogue there. Ori ulti doesn't do a whole lot there. And nice Jarvan ulti, once they've blown all their summoners to lock him in, Ori flashes away, Kog'Maw just gets chain CC, can't do enough damage here. The front line just fell too early in that fight. They wasted their big cooldowns. They didn't have the Shen ulti to keep the Kog'Maw alive. Didn't have the Gragas to peel because he fell down early. And that just wasn't the front-to-back team fight that they needed. They were too split off, and Kog'Maw paid for it.
Yeah, just kind of disconnected. They saw the engage on the carry, and then halfway through it, they realized they need to be peeling back against the Maokai to defend the Kog'Maw. And at that point, you know, it doesn't matter if Shock lands the two-man Shockman's the two-man Ockwave.
Shockman
Shockwave.
Ockwave.
Shockwave. Okay.
No, if Shock lands the two-man Shockwave over the wall on the carries, because there's no one there to follow up, and the tanks are, you know, just keeping Kog'Maw down and preoccupying him. And then FBI gets just free hit after free hit across the front line of TM.
Good initiation from Rogue as well.
Yeah.
Tegan got his ultimate cancelled, and that's a Janna ultimate with 3 healing buff items.
Yeah, that's a big ulti. They did a whole lot of nothing. FBI's just slept through this game. He's just sitting on 8-1-4 right now. We were talking a lot about the Kog'Maw because it's TM's only win condition, but he's got wings on his health bar. He's absolutely popping right now.
I mean,
level 18 already to level 15 on the Kog'Maw. Sorry, he's level 16, not level 18. I can't math. Can't count to 10 apparently.
Rogue's won 1 in 11 as well. The bottom lane for Sin are definitely doing work this game. They kept Low and Tegan shut down. Ooh. Ooh. Get him.
Jude, one misstep against this Kog'Maw. Even the tanks like Jude just gets immediately punished. If that was a carry, if that was the Syndra, if that was the Xayah, they would have just been absolutely eaten by the Void Monster. Just vomit all over them. That's what he does.
Yeah.
What? Can you do a Pugmore?
No, I can't.
Yeah, that's Corki's crit animation when he
That's a
hits you with a
seal.
spatula.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what the hell?
You know the Earth Rider Corki to hit you with a spatula when he crits? That's a nice
yeah.
skill.
It's a cool skin. This is probably the first time we've agreed on skins.
Okay.
Team have successfully defended this top
Yeah.
lane inhibitor for now.
Split push Tommy.
Yeah, they're just waiting. Sin aren't committing on this top lane inhibitor until Doppler actually hits the bot lane, because soon TM are going to have to answer on all three fronts. They're strong around the Kog'Maw, but if you split this 5-man Death Ball comp up, then they're not actually that strong, right? Like, this comp is more than the sum of its parts, so if you split the parts up, they don't do much. So that's what they're looking to do right now. They do get a big chunk in the top inhib because Doppler crashed the bot wave, and they have to pull the trigger.
It's a 1-3-1 coming out from Sin. They already take down top lane inhibitor.
Yeah. Team have to pull a trigger on a wave. Oh, is it actually ulting towards mid lane?
Yeah, Shock gets standing over from Praetor. That turret was very low. Only he's going to get locked down. He takes so much damage.
Oh.
Shockwave is huge. FBI throws the ultimate the wrong way. He's dead. Or is he? Shutdown comes out from Only. Low though gets obliterated by Ryoma. Big outplay.
Oh, and TM just don't... Oh, as they're looking for another engage, TM's bot lane just don't look practiced enough on this cleanse heal combination. T-Gun still has it, despite standing next to Low when he was getting Syndra ulted, and Low tried to heal himself and burnt the cleanse on the Syndra ulti.
Here comes Speed Racer.
Did absolutely nothing. He's zooming in, going to whack the turret. Yeah, it just doesn't look refined enough, I think. Are they getting punished for it here?
It's going to be...
They do trade the 80 carries, but you know, power's still in Sin's hand at the moment. You know, they start knocking on the door of the inhibitor here. Top wave still shoved in, so is bottom wave.
Although, Sin's Baron will be timing out, or has already timed out, and they do actually not drop anything extra. They did lose the fight, so they're gonna fall down a bit more gold, but they'd already lost the top inhib, and that fight actually amounted to no objectives for Sin.
Yeah, and they're kind of overstaying their welcome a little bit for the Elder Dragon now, which, you know, turns into the Quadra Infernal if TM get that, which is up in 45 seconds now. So I would like to see TM walk away from their top lane at the moment and start beelining for the Elder.
Teleport is available for Praetor, and Dokla can't match. His is down. In fact, Standing United might be up in time as well for that fight. Let's see what they do. The components of a Frozen Mallet have been started here by Low.
That's really big, actually. The TP advantage for TM, and the bot wave is absolutely monstrous, as Shock is recalling, which is slightly unlucky here. I think he's looking to pick up his death cap, but... So Sin will be able to answer that bot wave for free because TM don't have the members on the map, but they do have the control around the Dragon. They have set the wards up as he just crit for 1,037. I don't like that.
He doesn't get a death cap either, just a blasting one to add.
No, he didn't buy it. Did he change his boots? He had a blasting one.
He had the same boots.
he
Maybe
just
like
wanted
a
base.
potion?
An elixir, potentially.
Yeah.
Let's see.
This is the game-breaking fight here. Whoever... This is the do-or-die situation for TM. If they get this, they can win the game, but if they lose it,
They're
I
not
feel
going.
like Sin are going to just roll over them with their
FBI
engage. but
soloing
they are
it.
conceding.
Yeah, FBI just soloed Infernal Dragon. That's easy pick up for Sin.
Anticlimactic!
Yeah, definitely. And it's all off, I think, the recall from Shock. They don't have the cleanse on Kog'Maw. Potentially they aren't willing to fight without these summoners. They don't want the cleanse on Kog'Maw, don't have the barrier on Orianna. They want to be able to keep their carries alive, but if
I don't
Sin
think you
get
have the choice.
if Sin, yeah, I feel like that's true as well. If Sin get any sort of engage off, they're now doing so much more damage. They do have the Infernal, so that's a lot of extra damage packed on top of what they already had.
Let's see what Sin can do here. They're looking for the initiation. Dokla taking a lot of damage from Low, but he's fine. Initiation comes out. Jews will get locked down. Praetor taking a lot of damage. Good root from FBI and Redemption used early by Tegan.
And Sin didn't actually commit very hard for that damage there, and they just absolutely chunked them out. Had to burn the Redemption to heal back up there.
So they give up the inhibitor. And now it's only bottom lane inhibitor left standing for Sin to take.
I feel like they have to pull the trigger at some point. At some point. If they just drop 3 inhibs, Sin are going to walk in, march 6 super creeps at a time up to the Nexus, and just going to absolutely roast them. It's going to get completely overpowered, so you need to see them pull the trigger on something, but every time Only walks up, he's just getting completely chunked.
Rose now leading the charge in the front lines. Gets a couple of autos to his FBI, but Rogue initiates. Ultimate comes out from Tegan, trying to keep the Kog'Maw alive, but it's not enough. He gets absolutely pumped. FBI will get that first kill. Dokla's already flanking the back lines. Shockwave comes out. It's Scoop, but only on the front line. Rogue picks up one for the team. Dokla slides in. Double knockup. Shocker. Tegan in trouble. Last 2 members standing. Praetor will get back to the fountain, but it's 4 kills picked up by Sin. They're marching towards the Nexus.
Yeah, and they're looking for this last one in the Fountain. You know, the last stand of TM was not enough. Sin now looking to finish the game. Those 6 super creeps that Bryce was so eloquently talking about, I think, oh, never mind. They're the next wave. Anyway, they're looking to claim these turrets, and Sin are looking to pick up their 2-0.
This will be a 2-0 for Sin. Praetor can't do too much to fight against this, and it's another loss for TM week after week. They tried their hardest, but they can't succeed. Sin, 2-0 TM.
Is that Rogue or is that Juice? Because I think that's Juice. Yeah, he doesn't look too happy there. Bit of a botched game from him. Did lose the Smite battle to the Orianna ulti and W combo, so
Smile, mate, you won.
you just lots to work on. But yeah, that's two victories in a row. He beat us, now he's beat TM. But yeah, TM looked like they had a lot more life in that game. Just at the end there, Low stepping too far forward. There was too much CC chain onto him. Didn't have the cleanse available. He finished that game with his death timer ticking down, and the cleanse was actually came online when he was dead. So
Hello? Is Juice okay?
he's not happy.
Yeah, maybe not feeling the best or something at the moment. I guess we'll check in with him probably a little bit later, maybe.
No,
he's
he looks
back.
fine.
He's,
He's
oh,
just not
he's
happy.
back. He's back. Everything's okay.
Just got tired. He was having a quick break.
But yeah, the overstep from Low at the end of the game there, and they just get punished. They'd already dropped for 2 in Hibs, and that was their last chance to fight, and they didn't actually get the victory there. Sin just, as soon as the Kog'Maw dies, that comp just falls apart. They had no damage. The Orianna landed on multiple members, but just didn't do anything. They had no follow-up damage after that one, so rough for TM.
It was
Another
close
week.
though. There was definitely an interesting new draft we haven't seen from them exactly. We've normally saw them play around the top lane, more around the jungle. This was a third option. It didn't work out today, but there was some signs of life that I thought showed a little bit of promise, and it was unlucky that they couldn't sort of pull it a little bit further to hold on to that game.
Yeah, they tried something different, but didn't work out against Sin. They've been rising so far in the OPL since their stint at Rift Rivals, and they're looking to go through another gauntlet run. TM now have to really consider their chances in relegation and have to start preparing for that tournament. I don't think they can actually get into the gauntlet anymore after that loss. For now, though, let's send it back to the analyst desk.
Thanks very much, guys. Sin was too strong for TM, but TM really put on a show that game and almost at times looked like they could have made it even or maybe even tied up the series.
I actually quite like Tainted draft, what they've done. It kind of plays to their strength. Apart from obviously putting Gragas onto only, like changing it up rather than last game. They found out that the Kayn wasn't really working for them, so they've just opted in for the late game scaling team fighting composition. I don't mind it, but obviously it's one of those compositions that you kind of have to give up your lane pressure and accept that you're going to have a rough early stage of the game, and then you're going to look to scale into the late game. But they really did struggle in the early game, especially that bot lane.
I agree in the sense that they're willing to try something new, and they've given low Kog'Maw, like that's fine, but I disagree in the fact that they're losing a lot of lane pressure and there wasn't many options for them to gank, because it's hard to gank a Janna lane. I didn't like the draft, how they went Kog'Maw Janna last 4th and 5th pick. I don't think it paid off, and it's not an answer to Zyra Khan, I think. So, considering they lost lane fairly hard last game, I'm honestly surprised that they survived for that long. They had some really good team fights that really shunned. I think Shock had a pretty decent performance today.
All right, well, standing by right now with Fish is Rogue from the Victorious Sin. So let's throw it over to them now for the interview.
Hey guys, I'm standing here with Rogue, the support from Sin after their 2-0 victory. Congratulations on that one over TM.
Thanks, man.
How do you feel after that game? Because you guys had a decisive game 1, but it was a bit of back and forth in game 2.
I mean, I think the whole series should have looked like the first game. So, I don't know, it's not the cleanest game out of us. We have things to improve on, obviously, but it's 2-0, so it's the result. That's all that matters in my eyes, right? So, yeah.
You're able to pick up the 2-0, so all 3 points to you guys. But in the bottom lane in game number 2, you as well as FBI were absolutely dominating this Kog'Maw Janna comp that we've seen rising in popularity internationally. Did you guys have practice against this coming into the game?
Me and FBI, we just played so much Zyra Khan. That's like our rush hour. That's like our Bonnie and Clyde. That's like all we do. We're just like, Binsul, pick us, Zyra Khan. So we just spam that every time he's in solo queue. Like for his rank 1 game, he's like, play Zyra Khan with me. So we've played that matchup a million times. So like we know how to punish people when they make mistakes with that matchup. So yeah, that's just like one of our ways that we exploit weaker teams.
Yeah, it's definitely shown all the way from first blood as well as the late game team fights that you initiated. They looked fantastic. The final question I have for you is, we've talked a lot about Sin's performance after Rift Rivals. You guys have definitely improved a lot. I want to get your thoughts. What do you think was the biggest takeaway after Rift Rivals?
I feel like we just had a better atmosphere on the team. Like, we had a lot of help from other teams' coaching staff, like those teams. Like, we collabed a lot with teams over there, and I feel like we came back a stronger team because, not because of in-game things, but because of like our mentality going into the game and like the way we saw each other, and it was more of like a more friendly atmosphere, which really helps practice.
Well, that's great to hear. Congratulations on your victory and best of luck for your last 2 games in the Open before the Gauntlet run. We'll send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you very much, Fish, and congratulations to Rogue. Were you one of the OS coaching staffs who helped out Rift Rivals, Sharp? Were you giving some sweet advice to Sin?
Yeah, I had a few words with Sin and gave him a little bit of advice, and I'm glad they took it on board because they've actually been playing quite well recently. Like taking the set off Chiefs last week really speaks for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched Sin practice at Rift Rivals. We helped them out here and there, and obviously it's showing off here today. I felt like they had a pretty good performance in Game 1. Game 2 was just here and there mistakes, but I'm sure they'll fix it up. Rogue had a pretty good interview there. He's acknowledged that they made mistakes, and obviously they're collaborating as a team more. So I think it's positive signs for them.
I know Destiny, when you look at this, there were moments for TM where they were able to look like they were clawing back this game. So in particular, when did their team comp come online for you?
Yeah, I think TM, when they made the first proactive play mid, was really when they finally had an influence on the map. And a huge 4-man shockwave from Shock into the 4-man taunt from Praetor really highlighted how well the Wombo combo works. And this really gave Low a huge power spike because he hit the Runards, he finished his Cull, and then only picked up the Knight's Vow. So now a lot of protection and a lot of damage was coming from Cog. And before this, they were losing pretty hard across the map. So that was a very good recovery play from them, and it put them back in the game.
Yeah, like that team comp though, the Protect the Cogmore, I mean, were TM playing the way they should have played that team comp? Because it felt like at times they were initiating these team fights but weren't actually getting anything for it.
Yeah, the team fight near the Baron was probably one of the prime examples of them playing the team fight. I would say wrong. Pretty much for the main reason is that here they actually use the Shen and Gragas as a means of engage, when with this composition you want to be peeling back for your Cogmore and protecting the Cogmore as much as you can. Now when Cogmore gets engaged on, he has no peel. There's no Gragas ult there to disengage, there's no Shen ult to save him from the burst, and here they just get wiped.
I think FBI had a brilliant performance today. I feel like he was the shining light of the Sin roster today. Even Rogue hit some very good Rakan ults here today. If anything, I was pretty surprised by Ryoma's performance. I didn't think it was as good as I thought it would be, especially going down in CS in the second game, especially in a Syndra Orianna matchup, which was the same matchup as the first game.
Yeah, like I was actually really surprised about how well Shock held his ground really against Roma. Like Roma is considered one of the best mid laners in the OPL, and in the 1v1 he actually was like even CS pretty much all throughout the game and even levels. So shout out to Shock for like putting on a pretty great performance.
Yeah, I feel like coming into this game we were like asking questions of both Shock and Lowen. Both of them had moments in that game where they were shining, and also outsmited. He
outsmited Jubes
without a smite.
So he outsmited Levi.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Shock and Levi might have some beef to work out.
I feel like everyone in Twitch chat and on Twitter was very excited when that happened. Is that like if you're playing that comp, right, and your jungler's down and you're there waiting by the Baron pit, like you just like, all right, it's got to happen now, got to make it happen, like. Or are you just like, is it risky? Were there risks involved with that?
Well, I feel like at that point when you're that far behind, you have no choice. You kind of have to make a recovery play. And whether or not that is blowing your Ori ultimate for the sake of like risking a 50-50 Baron, like I feel like they're the type of sacrifices you have to make. And here, like straight off the board, this just shows this graph. Look at the Xayah damage right here compared to everyone else on the map. I've actually looking at these stats, Xayah actually did ridiculous damage. I was actually thinking that Coldmore would have been.
FBI did work, man. I'm telling you. He
FBI
carried
went
that.
off.
He had like 400 CA. Like he was doing a lot of damage.
Popping off this game.
Got a lot of gold and could do a lot of damage to champions.
Yeah, my main problem with TM's draft is more of the fact that they don't really have a lane to play to. Like, you're ganking a Shen. If you get a Shen ahead, he doesn't do that much. And then bot lane, you've got a Janna, hard to gank. She doesn't have much crowd control. She's only got a knock up and a shield. And then, so realistically, Gragas' ganking option is mid lane, and that's an Orianna. And yeah, it's an Orianna. Shock still played pretty well though.
Yeah, and following up on that, there's not much follow-up CC. Like Orianna can't really set up a gank for like Gragas. It's really hard. Here you can actually see that the damage. Yeah, this just shows the damage that Xayah actually did throughout this game. I would say FBI easily would have to surely take out the MVP for this game.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
I definitely agree. I feel like the way the draft went for TM, their draft was the Xayah, Jace, Talia bans. If you're banning Kalista and you're giving them Xayah, I don't think Kog'Maw's the response. Especially like I said before, I feel like if you're losing lanes, you should be wanting to take the lane bullies. They first picked Maokai, so I think they should have picked Xayah.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of giving away Maokai, honestly. Like they're
Yeah.
pretty rough. Like Maokai is such a strong pick in this current patch. It's like the flex, and not only like they're both top tier champs in their respective roles, both in jungle and top. And I don't feel like Gragas Orianna, like the first rotation out at Tainted Minds, was a good answer to that. They're not really trading Maokai for anything.
Especially when they're banning Talia, Jace, and Kalista, and you got to think Jace. Even though Doppler is a Jace main, he's played 1,000 games or whatever. I mean, in his hands, even if you flex that Maokai back to the top, that's still going to be a really powerful pick.
Yeah, that's why Maokai is so strong on this patch, right? He's a pick ban champion because he offers so much crowd control. You can flex him jungle and top. He's just a beefy tank that's very hard to kill and offers a lot. So I feel like giving them Maokai and not getting they got a Gragas and an Orianna in return, which didn't really seem like an answer.
Yeah.
All right, well, that proves that Sin were too strong for TM today, taking it out 2-0. Let's take a look at the results of the weekend. AV initially 2-0 Legacy. Direwolves, your boys, were able to take down Regicide. Abyss fell to the Chiefs, and TM were not strong enough to even take a game off Sin. So let's take a look at how the standings have shaped up after the end of this weekend. Let's go from the bottom up, shall we? TM and Regicide, as well as Abyss in the drop zone right now for that tournament, the Primarello tournament. AV and Sin, and then in 5th and 4th place. Chiefs in 3rd. Legacy in 2nd after dropping games to Avant this week. So, your boys Direwolves up on top.
Look, I said at the beginning of the split, this is the closest OPL split there's ever been.
Absolutely.
Like, right now, these last 2 weeks, every game matters. Every small game in the series matters towards the points, and it's really exciting because anyone can win. Anyone, even if you come 5th in the gauntlet, you can still win. Like pull a Cloud9, guys.
Even like pull a Sin like last week. You can also Sin nearly end up taking out like beating Legacy and versing us in the grand final. So.
Oh yeah, it's really exciting stuff, really crazy stuff. Because as we've just seen, right? You guys lost to Legacy. Legacy lost to AV. You beat AV. Like it's just everyone's beating everyone. It's crazy. All right, let's take a look at next week's schedule. TM are going to take on Legacy. AV versus Sin. Oh, that is a grudge match.
Yeah,
That's a banger.
match.
Chiefs versus Regicide, and then we're going to end Sunday with Direwolves taking on Abyss. Let's see if Abyss gets some super minions on your Nexus
Hope
next
not.
week. Yeah.
I hope I'm never in that position.
Yeah, I don't want to be the coach watching that from the
I
sideline.
felt
I
bad
have a heart
about
attack. I nearly had a heart attack. I'm not even the coach. Chiefs.
All right. Well, we'd like to thank you at home for watching. I'd like to thank our guest today, Sharp, and also Destiny, as well as all of our support staff here at Riot. And we will see you next week. Bye.
Gets on top of Swiper and Spooks, knocks him back into the turret as well. Swiper the first target, they send Ejim in with the ultimate, great knockup, lands with the rage, Shockwave forces a flash but connects on Luch. He has to get a heal to stay alive, but they kill Seb in response. Hook from Rosie goes wide, but the Chiefs counter that engage, and Luch is coming through. Spooks very low, that's a smite being used early for health, and it will be Baron picked up by the Kalista. Pabu wants to kill Spooks, will be able to trade his life for it. Raid, however, now forced to run away from 3 members of the Chiefs, and he can't do so. Rosie will get a hook on towards Raze. Is it enough to get Luce, who's picked up a kill on Egypt? Bates Core comes in, knocks in Egypt, but he gets stunned up by Gravity Field. He will fall. Raid jumps into the fight. Good tackle.
This could be game.
He's going to get taken down. Abyss will kill the AD carry. Swiper dashes in, takes so much damage. Hook back. Ray gets a reset. Another kill for Abyss. Going for a big flank. Gets a great initiation. Shockwave comes through as well. But Luch lives. Will he die on the back lines? No. Great shielding coming out. They've already got 1 kill. Raze is hopping around, getting good damage on the front lines. But will be flayed back in the team. Forces his own flash. They destroy Spooks. They've almost killed Swiper as well. Let's see if the Chiefs can continue to defend. There are low health bars on Abyss. Rosie! He gets the mad life hook. Will knock back Swiffer, and Raid goes on a rampage. Oh, Egypt with the big initiation. Luch gets destroyed once again. Wombo combo if I've ever seen one. Seb's the next target. Swiper gets into the back lines, and that's 2 kills for the Chiefs. Big shockwave comes out from Swiffer as well. Raid, however, is somehow still alive. He jumps over the wall, but Abyss, the rest of the team is being dismantled.
brutal. Seb will fall as well. Now it's going to be Elder Dragon picked up. It's a quadra kill picked up too, coming out from Raze, and only Raid left alive. Big slam onto Raze. He's knocked back in. Raid is left untouched, but now it's going to be collapsed upon. Hook lands on his spooks. Double kill picked up by Raze. Raid looking for it. Flashes the shockwave, but Raze is still so healthy. Shutdown comes out from Swiffer. Luch wants to try his best, but he's going to get destroyed and sent back into respawn. The Chiefs have turned around this game. It was a long, hard-fought battle, but they pick up game 1 against Abyss. Raid
Raze is out.
Will he flash over him? Does. Pops the ultimate, gets a kill, jumps back out. Harbour, however, on the back lines of this fight, gets Ignite, and will fall to Egypt. Now Swiffer builds a wall and tries to make Abyss pay for it. He's got good damage on Seb, gets the first kill of the fight. Double stun coming out from Roosevelt. Luch gets collapsed on. Big Temper Fate will lock down Raze, but Egypt gets chucked out and tries to lock down the rest of the team. Raze still alive, jumped up by Raid. He's going to die. Big team fight for the Chiefs already, and Harbu's the final casualty to fall. Yeah. Oh, that's a great hook from Egypt. Jukes to the right and throws it to the left. Double kill picked up by Raze, but they're not done yet. Swiffer has just jumped on top of Raid's head as Parvu flashes and misses his taunt. This might just be game for Chiefs after that blunder. Triple kill picked up by Raid. What is Parvu doing? He's walking a long way around. His support's already dead. Raze QSS is out of his taunt. Now Parvu's going to get locked down. Raze does not care. He wants Luch. Can't rip the spears out, and Raid goes strong. Shutdown picked up by Kistana, but Swiffer gets a return kill. Swiper is very low, but will get remounted now. Parvu falls. Triple kill picked up by Swiffer. Luch will come out and try and stop this one, but that should be game. Will Riptail be taken away? It is. Juke smites that one out. It's picked up by Dokla as well. Now trying to chase down Praetor, taking so much damage from Roma. He has his ultimate available. Will throw it out. Too much power from the Syndra. And Juice flashes forward to pick up that kill. Meanwhile, they collapse on the TikTok Shock. He's going to fall. No way out for the Orianna. And Sin snowball onto the Rift. Now, big fight coming in for Sin here. They initiate on Praetor with Dokla's ultimate coming through. Rogue will be pulled back by FBI, dropping Turret Aggro. They lock down one. Killing spree for FBI. Gets the second as well. Rips the spear out of Brad. And we'll pick up another kill. Tegan has to be careful, but that's a flash taunt coming out from Dokla. TikTok shot, good night. Your clock's not working anymore. Tegan is a separate casualty to that as well. Now Lowe's trying to do his best to fight the back line, but he just can't. Has to jump out. It's a flash play from Tegan. Knocks back 3 members, but doesn't get too much from it. Knocking back Juice and Dokla. Big shutdown for Praetor. Only going to try and go over the wall, but he just destroys Lowe. Good night, and he's going to die as well for that one. Dokla comes down. What the heck? As both Nexus turrets are going to fall. Sin have already got 2 picks on both carries of TM. They have to put up some form of a last stand, but it looks nigh impossible against the Sin lineup. Rogue is going out of his mind. He's shouting into the camera. FBI gets another kill. Only will come back out of FBI. Knocks him up, taunts him up. Shutdown comes out for Praetor, but it's way too late. Sin take game 1 over TM. They lock down Low. Ultimate comes out from Tegan, keeping him alive a bit longer. But is it enough? So far it is, but he will fall. And now Tegan is the one that is in trouble. Juice takes out the turret, gets a kill for himself. Big Shen shield comes out, keeps him alive. The shield will keep him up as well. FBI throws out the feathers to pick up that kill. Big ultimate for Elite. Big taunt from Praetor. And TM are trying their hardest. Shutdown comes out from the Shen. They will lose their support, but they get 2 kills back in their favor.
And Shock's going to look to steal it with his ulti.
Let's see if he can. TikTok Shock.
Have no vision of it.
Oh, it's a game of chicken right now. Juice. Oh, doesn't. Oh! TikTok Shock. He doesn't put Brad. Gets the Baron buff. Oh, big engage from Rogue. But look at all the shields thrown towards Shock. Doesn't matter. He still dies before he can even get a shockwave off. Tegan's forced to flash, but Low is spraying in pain. Trying to get 1 kill here, but FBI is able to flash out of that. Maokai now trying to get into the fight. Low is going to spray. Big initiation from Rogue. FBI is going to take down the front line. Shock almost falls. Redemption comes in to keep the team alive. Shock flashed out of it. Double kill for FBI. Low can't deal enough damage. That's going to be a big triple kill for the AD carry of Sin. Ultimate comes out from Tegan, trying to keep the Kog'Maw alive, but it's not enough. He gets absolutely pumped. FBI will get that first kill. Dokla's already flanking the back lines. Shockwave comes out. It's good, but only on the front line. Rogue picks up 1 for the team. Dokla slides in. Double knockup. Shock and Tegan in trouble. Last 2 members standing. Praetor will get back to the fountain. This will be a 2-0 for Sin. Praetor can't do too much to fight against this, and it's another loss for TM week after week. They tried their hardest, but they can't succeed. Sin, 2-0 TM.